Happy Sunday from 105.7 The Phase. I'm your girl, Amanda Miller Talks at 7 o'clock every Sunday on Facebook Live. So make sure you're tuning in. If you didn't see the last week's segment, we kind of talked about what we would be talking about on this Sunday. And this Sunday, we are talking about um, moving on to the next relationship and baby mamas making claims of not wanting the new mate to be around um, the child. So definitely, if you have kids, you've heard this before. Hey, I'm moving on. I've married. I'm with somebody else, and this person is saying, "Hey, I don't want you to have my child around your new mate." Kind of want to dig in a little bit and talk about that from a male perspective. I would love to hear from the guys to kind of chime in and talk about um, what that looks like for you. Do you adhere to those demands? Do you call her bluff? Do you say bullshit? Um, do you to keep down drama, just adhere to it? And then from the female perspective, females, if you with a new dude and his girl is saying, his baby mom, my apologies, is saying, hey, I don't want my child around your new girl. Or have you ever told a guy, hey, I don't want my child around your new man? And so what does that look like for you? Let's talk about that a little bit and kind of get those perspectives. So, Kim, thank you for joining in. Dot, thank you for joining in if you're still there. So, guys, let's talk about that a little bit, and we can kind of wait um, until some people kind of chime in just a little. But I want to talk about what that looks like because I've kind of battled that before. When I very first start, well, I'm not gonna say when I very first started dating a person because we had been dating for a while, and then a situation arose where that person have a child, and then the person, his baby's mom, his child's mom, is saying, "Hey, I don't want you. She has bad spirits." Person don't even know you, but that's the first thing they'll say, like they're God. And I don't want that person around my child around that person. So, and he, pretty much adhered to it. Now, sometimes he wouldn't, sometimes he would, but I call bullshit because I think if you're with somebody new, and y'all are serious, now I don't say bring your kids around fly by nights, but if y'all are serious and the person is saying, I don't want my child around your new mate, um, you have just as much say to that child, where that child go, who they're around, as the equal parents, unless the court says otherwise. So let's talk about that. Y'all talk to me. What's your thoughts on that? Hey, let me tell you, turn on this TV right quick. Hold tight.
All right. As I say, you were doing this intro, and I was just sharing away.
All righty. Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting me turn on the TV. Sometimes that thing be up so loud, it be blasted in my ear. But last week we set the mood and tone to talk about, to say what we would be talking. Look at you. What we would be talking about this week. And so, hey, what like I said, I've been there, done that. I've never been the one to say, hey, I don't want you to take my child around the next woman. But I've been on the opposite end where the person told the guy that I was dating, and we have been dating for years. So it's not a fly by night relationship. She got bad spirits. I don't want my child around her. So I've been on that receiving end of it. But for me, you know, I call bullshit. You know, my thing for him, I was like, so if you adhere to that, I think there's something wrong. Because as a man, you have just as much rights to take your child where you want to take your child, just as she's saying she don't want your child around me. Like, I mean, I guess I've never, you know, been on the receiving end where I was like telling my kids' fathers, hey, I don't want my kids around your new mate. So I don't know how that feels. So I need to hear it from another person.
Yeah. I've been on both
What's
sides.
your thoughts?
I've been told.
Hold on, let me turn up the phone because I can't hear you.
I've been on both sides. I've been told, oh, there we go. I've been on both sides.
Say
I've
it
definitely
again.
been told, hey, you can't have. I've been on both sides. I've definitely been told, like, hey, you can't.
For some reason, I can't hear
around.
you.
This is the same thing every week. I'm starting to think it's me. Can you hear me now?
It's very low, so I can hear you, but it's kind of faint.
Let's try both sets. See if
I know the last time we had to go out and come back in.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Okay. I've been on both sides. I've had someone.
Hold on, let me ask them. Can you guys hear her? Because if it's me, then fine. Then I need to do some adjustments on my end. Are you guys able to hear me, the co-host?
If I need to go back out and come back in like we did last time, I can.
Hey, Gustavus.
Okay, they can hear me.
He can hear you. So maybe it's on my end. So go ahead. I'm listening.
But sorry, y'all. I've been on both sides. I've been the person that has been told you can't. I don't want her around my child, and I've been on the side. I didn't tell anybody they can't have nobody around my child, but I definitely have made rules that I still stick to today about when that person can be around my child. So I understand both sides, and I've seen the male perspective of at least the side being told you can't have this person around my child. So I feel like it's a slippery slope that you slide, especially I'm not a man, clearly. Just seeing it a lot of times in like my friend relationships, and then of course the relationship I've been in prior. It's a slippery slope because yes, I feel of course men do have rights to their children. That's a fact. Some do. That's a fact. But you don't want to respect and alienate your teammate. And when it's a positive co-parenting situation, that person is your teammate. So right. I understand saying, hey, I'm not ready for your significant other to meet my child yet. And I know for me, I have a rule of I at least need to have a conversation with you. Like, you can be there, you cannot be there. I really don't care. But I need to at least have a conversation with you. Am I saying that we got to meet face to face? No. A phone call, something to where I hear you, you hear me. We're able to now talk about, what I expect, what my expectations are for you around my children, what your boundaries are, what you would expect me to help you with if you need help, especially if this is a long-term situation. If this is a fiance, like, you're about to be in my children's lives, hopefully, for the rest of their lives. So there's a give and take we're both going to have to share. So I need to have a conversation with Chick beforehand of you meeting my child on the regular. That's just me. I've had someone tell a person that I was with that she a hoe and she don't need to meet my child. And I'm like, Chick, you ain't been nowhere near my bed, so how you know I'm a hoe or not? Because I remember having sex with a female. I ain't had it yet. So I'm like, I've seen both sides to where it's extremely, and I've seen one be like, hey, If you dating her, that's cool. I don't care. Just be upfront and honest with me. Both of y'all communicate. Make sure she don't touch my kid. And she didn't have to. She didn't feel the need to meet me. And then I've had the crazy where she just didn't want it.
Right. That's kind of what I was going to ask. Do you not trust him to set those boundaries with his mate? Because my thing is, the conversations with her does what? Because I guess I'm thinking on the realm of, yeah, you can have those conversations, but I think like there's a conversation that he needs to have with both parties. If there's an issue, like if there's a conversation that he needs to have, because we got to make sure there's some accountability on him to ensure that, one, if you have expectations, that he's setting those on your behalf as the kid's mom to his significant other. And the only reason why I'm agree. Shaky about it is simply because if you're dealing with a mature female, then she's going to receive it. If you're dealing with an immature female, then all of what you say go out the window, and it really doesn't matter.
But see, for me, I take out the middleman. My accountability, to a certain extent, is with you. Because to me, that's what it begins to be. I had a conversation with you. I ain't have a conversation with my baby daddy today. I had to. I'm not playing telephone with no grown woman. I'm grown. We grown. If I have something to say to you, I'm going to say it to you. Straight up. So you know, there is no, oh, well, he told me this. Okay, but I told you. I spoke to you as this person's mother and said, this is where I'm comfortable with you with. If you step outside these boundaries, you can't blame it on him now. You can't blame it on, because at the end of the day, we're co-parents. This is still my teammate to a certain extent. You not about to blame it on my teammate when I know for a fact that I spoke to you. You knew the plan. You knew the play. You decided not to go by it. Now my issues with you.
Okay, as a girlfriend, let me kind of say this. As a girlfriend,
you're breaking up, really.
Fiance. As a fiance, so I get that, right? But as a wife, that teammate goes out the door, because as a wife, even above his mom, his wife come first.
No, now we're both teammates. Now my teammate is you two as a whole.
Oh, I thought you said
so now,
baby mom and the baby dad is teammates. Okay, my fault. I apologize. I apologize.
No. Once my baby daddy is your husband, oh, that's a completely different conversation. Y'all are a team together, and y'all together as a team are now, we three are now on a team together. My expectation is the difference between, now my expectation is stronger with the both of you, because y'all are a unit. Now I'm never not gonna respect what your role is. If your role is girlfriend, you gonna get respect as a girlfriend. This fiance, you gonna get respect as a fiance. If you are now his wife, you gonna get the respect of his wife. I'm not gonna overstep my boundaries as I'm just his baby mama. Like I don't matter like that. And I know that, right? But there are levels to this. There's levels to y'all's relationship. There's levels to my relationship with you. There's levels and different expectations that I have with my relationship with that I have for your relationship with my children. By the time you his wife, I should 100% feel comfortable with whatever. You tell me, AB, we want to go to Disney World. All right, cool. Have at it. What day you want to go? So I can make sure they schedule clear. AB, we want to take them to Dubai. Cool. Their passports is up to date. What day y'all going? So I can have them ready. Because at that point, I should have that much comfort and trust in the both of your decision making. Now my expectation isn't just on his decision making, it's on yours now. Because when you become that wife, you have now married. My children are still now your responsibility. And I need to have respect and trust and faith in you as such. Like, cause whatever role you in, I'm gonna respect it. Because clearly me and him did not work. I'm not meant to be his wife. You are. But you are now meant to be their stepmom. And you gotta make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do for that. And that goes both ways. If she feel like as a mom, like if she says, AB, I was talking to Bella, and she got really upset when she told me you couldn't make it to Muffins with Mom. Like, did you talk to her? Hold me accountable, because again, we're now on a team. I gotta hold you accountable. You can hold me accountable too. Like, I don't mind that. I'm a person who truly believes that we are a blended family as best we can be.
Right.
As best we can be.
Right.
We need to try and be a blended family, because at the end of the day, I've been telling people this for a long time. We are now team insert kids' last names. And my kids' last names are Wilson. So we're Team Wilson, regardless. Whatever's best for my kids, I will put my pride to the side. I'll put my irritation and my anger to the side. And if what's best for them is him, cool. If what's best for them is for us to get along, cool. If what's best for them is for me to go to court and do some stuff, or him go to court and do some stuff, or us to get on a visitation, cool. Whatever it is to further my children, that's all that matters. So if she's noticing something with my children, and they're telling her that, well, I just don't feel like mommy likes to spend time with us anymore. As the other woman in their lives, she need to come to me and be like, yo, I was talking to Bella, and I was talking to the kids, and Bella said something about she doesn't feel like you want to spend time with her anymore. Like, is everything okay? Do I need to take your son so y'all can have some mommy daughter days? Like, let's think of a plan. Because I only expect what I would give, right? But that's just me. Again, I'm clearly not a man. Right. I don't know how that feels on the side of things.
So Kim says, I think it's some straight up bullshit. I know someone who is very close to me says her daughter can't go around her baby's dad new boo. I was like, girl, move the fuck on, because that shows bitterness and seems like that you're not over him. And for me, Kim, I mean, it has to be a reason. If you're saying you don't want your child around the person's new mate, it has to be something. And for me, more than likely, I'm with you. You haven't moved on. You didn't just wake up and say, hey, I don't want my child around. You're working that energy off of something. Now, I'm not saying that don't have a conversation. I'm not saying that. Now, for me, I'm not having a conversation. He's going to have that conversation. Now, well, let me go back. I say this. My son and daughter's father, they're both married. And so we get along very well. The girls, their significant other and I. So there's no conversation to have, because we've always gelled.
Right. Because
the two men were men and have always worked in a space of maturity to ensure that, I assume, that on their new mates' end and my end, that we kind of knew something about one another. And then once we're in each other's presence, it's like there's no elephant in the room. But I think when it's some unresolved, that a man did set the stage ahead of time, I think that's where a lot of that come from. And that's just me, but I would love to hear yet again from some others. I think Katrina about definitely having a conversation. Kim said, when my dude's baby mom tried that shit with me, I took his ass to my attorney and I got the child legitimized. I was like, what now? You want to rumble with the queen bee, right? Let me silence, right? So I just think it's just...
Why wasn't he legitimized to begin with?
You know, I don't know. And there's a lot of kids out there that's not legit.
That's the thing to me.
That's the thing about it. It's a lot of kids that out there that's not.
And that's what's crazy to me, because Georgia gives you 6 months to legitimize your kid for free. For free. You go file legitimize for free.
Right.
You ain't even gotta pay nothing. So what is with these dudes not claiming and wanting to claim and have responsibility for their children? Let me ask you, crazy, that's when you want to go and do it?
Right. Let me ask you. So let's just say you had that conversation and she comes back and say, Okay. I still don't want my child around you. How do you hold him accountable for that? Or do you just say, okay, you know, to keep peace, she don't want your child around me. That's what it's gonna be. How do you even after your conversation, then what?
Well, I would say me as a mama would have to have a conversation. I don't know now. His baby mama wasn't trying to have no. She thought that she was just gonna be able to like talk shit and that was gonna be okay. Um, and and eventually her and him had to get to a place where where she had gotten over her issues. Because like you said, like you and Kim said, she still had feelings for him. So my presence made her feel like, because he had gotten out of a relationship and me and him had eventually gotten together, and I guess she thought since he had gotten out of that relationship before prior, her family was gonna be back together. The hell they put each other through, I don't know what delusional shit she was on, but whatever. They put him through hell. But like, so my presence in general made her mad. It didn't have to be me. It could have been it had to be any person. Like the girl he was with prior to me, same problem. She had issues regardless. So they had to get to a place, and that's what I did. Once you decided that you want to disrespect me when I haven't done anything to you, and what's so horrible, I had met her child because we both went to the same school. I had met her child previously. Like, your son has already met me. I've already played with your child. So the fact that now, just because his insert man's name is attached to girlfriend, now you upset with me. You was just fine with me a year ago. Like, we was kicking in the cash. Like, what's your problem now? Oh, it's because I had something that you wanted, that you thought you were entitled to, because y'all laid down and had a baby. No. So once that disrespect had been crossed, she got warned, if you keep playing with me, because she called me crazy. And I was like, if you think I'm crazy, and people have told you I'm crazy, and I love the people who have I've done crazy things. If you think that I'm crazy with people that I love, what the hell you think I'm gonna do to somebody I don't give a fuck about? Try yourself. So once we had that conversation, I left it in his ballpark. Like, you gotta have that with her because y'all are his parents. I'm not going to interfere on what y'all got going on, because at the end of the day, y'all gotta agree for that baby. When eventually, hopefully, we'll grow up, and we did. We have no issues now, but eventually, like, we'll grow up and be fine. But until that day, that's you and her. Y'all keep that. Have it. Only thing
Yeah,
I did was I wasn't
yeah, I do agree.
I was protective about if she like randomly switched up. I would be like really protective. I'd be like, so are you sure she's gonna do this? Are you sure she's gonna do that? She quick to pull out. Are you sure? Like, I would be like, I would do that. But that was it. I
Yeah,
left it in his corner.
Kim was saying, I don't agree with conversating with significant others as long as my kids are safe. My children are both grown now, but I never felt like I needed to talk to their wives because I trust the dad. And that was my thing too, is about, now if I felt like he moved shady, then I think I probably would have a conversation. But if there is a bond of trust and maturity in that man, I think I've trust that you, first of all, chosen a woman that has my child best interest at hand. So I trust you and your judgment, and I trust that if anything goes wrong, you're going to check her because this is your child equally like it's mine. And then you're setting some expectations in your household as far as if he or she do something wrong, you know, as far as not hitting him or not spanking him, maybe telling me, you know, some things like that you guys have to set in your home as expectations, because I know this is what she and I, meaning the baby mom, has talked about. So when I bring you around my wife, then these are the things me and my wife already know, so we can have some peace in the home. So I do believe if there's a trust factor in the dad, but if he moves shady, then I can kind of see that. But here's my thing, and I may be wrong. So like B said, I'm not a guy, so I would hope if there's some guys on here, help us out.
I'm about to say, we are speaking from a female perspective,
right?
Not
from a perspective. When females are moving in that space, sometimes guys are sending mixed signals. You're still kind of straddling the fence a little where you're too friendly. I'm not going to say sex. Sometimes it's sex, sometimes it's not. You're still a little friendly with baby mom. That baby mom still has some bitterness that y'all are not together. So she have a little side eye because I have been there, done that. Where when my son's dad first moved on, me and his wife has never had odds. But I did kind of look at her a little side eye. That girl had never done anything to me. But that's because I was still in my feelings. But once I was over my feelings, I mean, it was just that. Because she is a good person, and she and I had never butted heads. Now, granted, I've never told him he couldn't take her around her. But I did have a little side eye. And he was straddling the fence even before he married her. And that's why I say I think a lot of that whole accountability on the man. Y'all help us out.
I mean, for me, trust or no trust, I hold people's word as bond. So if I hear it coming out of your mouth, like I trust he has good decision making. Yeah. But if I hear you agreeing to what he's saying coming out of your mouth, I hold you accountable to that. That's just a level of that's just me. Like it's if I'm doing business, it's if I'm just chilling with my friends talking about stuff. It's anybody. I have to have a conversation with you. That's just me. No shade on my baby daddy. Like I trust your judgment. I trust your judgment for if he's listening. I trust your judgment. But just because it's like when you go and people have told me, oh, drive safe. And I'm like, I'll do what I can. I'll make it there the best way I can. Well, you don't look, and I'm like, no, because I can drive as safe as I want to. But if somebody driving drunk and they hit me, I can't stop that. So you can have the best decision-making skills on the planet. If a snake get in your stuff and you don't notice it, I ain't worried about you. I'm worried about my kids. Because she ain't got time to be biting on mine. So I need to see you personally. That's just me.
Who has the conversation? Is it you as the lead off as far as the baby's mom? Or are you as the kid's mom expecting the wife to have the conversation with you?
I would ask to have the conversation with her. I'm not gonna make you think that there's this unnecessary, like I'm a she god or something. I expect you to come to me and give me your offering of a fruit. Like no,
right?
Like
that's what I tell you. The person did say we can have a conversation. However, they was like, I needed to have. Girl, I'm not having a conversation with you. Why would I? I'm his wife. Why would I need to have a conversation? That's your choice. Why would I have a conversation with you? Right now. Have a conversation, and I don't mind having a conversation, but I am not about to what I'm going to say when I get on the phone.
I'm going to say, oh no, that's ridiculous. I would, as a child's mother, I would tell my baby daddy, like, hey, I need to have a conversation with your girl. If you want to be there, cool, no problem. But I want to have a conversation with your girl personally, like even if it's just a phone call or me and her meet up for a drink. Like I'm not about to sit here and try to overshadow you or like make you feel like I'm gonna take your man. Like no, if I want him, I can have him. So
right,
huh? Right. Like,
I said like it makes me feel like
sweetie, he is not worth the stress.
Right, like when you start running stuff.
I think that's stupid. Like, what omniscient got you? Like, who are you, Zeus? Like, what is wrong with think that somebody is supposed to randomly come to you and offer themselves. You're like, what delusion are you?
Right. You have something at stake, which is the child. So the conversation lead off, if you're feeling like it needs to be one, should be starting with the child's mom. And Carla said,
Yeah.
yes, you do. When you say yes, you do, Carla, what are you referring to? Tanya said this one is on point. Well, so talk to us. Y'all talk to us. Because I think we've all been in this situation on one end of the spectrum or another. And
the other.
Yeah. Other, right. And it's crazy. So it's like, how do you handle, and I used to be in my feelings. I'm not gonna lie, but I would tell you, it took my son's father to say, what are you in your feelings for?
Yeah.
If that's what she wants, fine. Because at the end of the day,
not the DNA.
That's self-sufficient. If she don't want no help with no baby, then that's her. You ain't got to change no diapers. You ain't got to hear no whining child. You ain't got to keep telling nobody to stop. You ain't. It took somebody that I have a child with to tell me, girl, are you really serious right now? Be okay with that shit if they okay with it. Because again, they're going to have to be, held accountable for it. Really, when we talk about a higher power, because number one, if you're married to him, he's going to have to answer to that because he knows it's wrong. And so, if you're adhering to that bull crap, then you're the one that's going to have to answer to God on the other end for it. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to your wife, no one should have the upper hand to say how you move. Kim told me, so I'm confused. Right. I would be like, I'm trying to question my judgment. Absolutely. That's why I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Now, I'll have a conversation, but I'm not be the lead off because I have no dog in the fight.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I don't understand any person that, if you are the child's mom and you are now expecting this girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever, to come to you like that, that's extremely simple-minded to me. Because at the end of the day, especially if they don't have any children, like you said, she ain't got no dog in the fight, bro. Like what she care for? Like
right.
Why? Like outside of respecting and loving your kids, like what she care for? You the one that has to, because I have an expectation, not her. Like that's dumb. Right. That is completely and utterly bonkers to me. But I mean, I don't know, because I've seen it be where the how do I say this without sounding like an ass? I've seen it be where sometimes it people's emotions be too far in it, and they be too still stuck in their feelings to be able to have a good dialogue with somebody, the baby daddy, the new whoever, whatever. Like they be too deep in their feelings. Because I know for me, if I'm still in my feelings about this relationship, I'm not gonna ask to talk to your girlfriend. Like I'm not, because I'm still in my feelings. I need not have a conversation with you because I'm liable to say I'm liable to be mean on purpose. So we just not gonna do that. Like I'm not, because that's not gonna be a good thing for my kids. So I feel like when some dudes, and I'll say some females too, because females be doing this stuff too. Like we're not just gonna sit here and act like me be the only one straddling the fence.
That's right.
Nah. Like I feel like when you still straddling the fence and then you just come like out of nowhere with a new significant other, like, hold on, homie, you was just dicking her down or giving him or riding him like you.
That's
like
right.
2 days ago.
That's
like what
right.
do you expect?
That's right. Unfinished business. That's right. Absolutely. Like, so Tanya says, so Quaylin, we said on about last week conversations about significant others, not baby moms, or not one or anyone, baby dads, baby moms, because it works on the ends of the guys too, not wanting their child around the new mate. Tanya says, I'm dealing with this now, and I understand because she has not met me as of yet. So she is not wanting his son to come over, and this is his only child. So I hung a lot. So he bathe him and send him home with clean clothes, and she gets mad every time. And that's why I say, if there is still some anger, there's still, in my opinion, because if baby mom is in her feelings and she haven't met you, then like now in those cases, like B is saying, then I think there's a conversation that needs to be had because she's upset about something. She's in her feelings about something. And the only way to move past it is to have a conversation. That's the only time I'm seeing that there's a conversation that needs to be had because somebody's not telling the whole story somewhere. Something is happening.
Yeah.
Happening.
Well, that's a two-sided situation because she says she is okay. So from what I understood, baby mama doesn't want, and Tanya, I'm sure you're a lovely woman. This is no shade to you, right. But baby mama doesn't want Tanya to be around the child, but she's around the child anyway. I don't know how old this child is. I do not know the sex of this child, but you're giving this child, you're doing something real intimate and giving this child a bath and all of that. I can see if she has not met her yet, that might be an issue as to why she's upset. Because why are you doing something so intimate with my child and I don't want you around them at all. So explain me why you're around them at all. Explain to me why you're doing something so intimate. Where to say daddy? Like these are the things that I know for me, I would be questioning if I have not met you yet and I have already made it clear. Because now I'm mad at not her. If I'm the baby mama, I'm not mad at her. I'm pissed the fuck off of him because I told you don't have her around my son.
So
like, I'm not gonna get mad at her. She ain't do shit.
Why he don't get a pass? See, this is what I'm saying. A lot of times, women,
he get that head shut off.
Moms or wife, we give them a pass, like you just said. Now the conversation needs to be had with him because if that's the conversation he's had and he's still doing it anyways, okay, that's fine because I do believe he has the right to move the way he want to move with his child. But that's meaning there's a conversation at that point that needs to be had between the three.
Right. Because now my boundaries are being overstepped.
Okay. Quablin said, usually the other parent is harboring feelings. But that's what Kim and I.
We said that too.
Yeah. Yep.
We have all agreed. Yes. That is normally the problem.
That's the whole problem. And
that normally be the issue.
Right. If not, why would you not? Especially if you don't know. That means you've made assumptions about that person, of somebody that you don't even know. Because here's the thing, in my mind, for me, I have 2 kids that I love to death, and I think everybody loves their kids. And here's my thing: why would you risk doing something to somebody else's child to have your ass locked up and taken away from your own? That's stupid. Ain't no way on God green earth I would do something to your child to be taken away from my kids that I love. That would be utterly ridiculous.
Like, nah, bro.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Are you ignorant?
That's ridiculous. I wish I would. I would. Because now we going to hell with gasoline drives. Because now I'm going for everybody head. Like, oh no. If I'm going to jail, I'm going to prison. Like this is there's a difference that I'm about to be in somebody's felony prison. Because somebody about to get messed up today.
So, Quavelin, from a male perspective, and we want to hear from any of the guys that's on here. If the mother has an issue with the woman, why aren't the two meeting to discuss? And so that's what B said. That's crazy. If she's a new woman and clearly it's serious, if they live together, she needs to have a conversation. And when we say she, who's the lead off person, Quavelin, in that case? Because I was telling B,
I'm sorry, but entire
but the person said I needed to reach out to them, and girl, I'm not doing that, because at the end of the day, and I'm not. But here's the whys behind it, because I never want to feel like you already feel like you're running him, because you're saying to him, I don't want my child around your new woman, your wife, or da 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 da. Now you think you're running me by saying I need to call you, and you don't. You might run him, but you don't run me. I mean, I ain't got nothing by you, so I don't owe you nothing. I owe him something because he's part of me. So I owe the child something. I don't owe you anything. So Quavelin, when you say she needs to have the conversation, who's she to start off? And Coco, if you're still there, we're talking about baby moms, baby dads that don't want their child around the new mate. Do you adhere to it? The guy, Quavelin and Kevin, I see you on here. Would you adhere to that and not bring your child around your new mate? Because baby mom said so. And from the woman perspective, the wife or the fiance, how are you feeling about that? Like, how would that make you feel?
Can you restate the question, because you broke up on my end at least?
Okay. So if the woman, the baby mom, baby dad is saying, I don't want my child around your new mate, significant other, for the man, do you adhere to that? Are you not going to bring your child around your new mate, baby dad? For the woman that is the baby mom, I mean the new significant person, the significant other, how are you feeling? Are you like, do you care? Do you don't care? Are you in your feelings? Like, how did that impact? So B, while we're waiting to somebody to I know you said you've been on the sides of it. So if that was the case, how would you feel like if the person said, hey, I don't want my child around, you're married, I don't want my child around your wife, and as the wife, how does that make you feel? Like, what would you do?
As a wife or as a wife? Okay.
Because like we said, it is levels.
It depends. Okay. It is levels. It depends on a lot. It depends on, does he have joint custody? Does he have visitations? When he does have these visitations, are these visitations expected to be at our home? If that is the case, then I'm sorry, but I'm not about to leave my house for your comfort. It's my house. If my husband would want to take a weekend and, go somewhere with his son and I'm not around, wholeheartedly do that. Because at the end of the day, that's still y'all's child. She still has a expectation to be respected with the decisions that she would like for her child. Now, does she have an expectation to be respected in your life? No. But she does have an expectation to be respected when it comes to how her child is treated. Now, I would look at my husband kind of side-eyed, because if we have now been together long enough for me to be your wife and she still got these issues, like, homie, what's going on? Something's not right.
Not right.
Like, something
ain't right.
Something ain't right. Like, ain't no way. Because I know women. Ain't no way she's still holding on this long and you ain't doing nothing. Like, no, that damn delusional. Like, we delusional as women. We ain't that goddamn delusional. The way you done married a whole bitch. It's supposed to just be, I'm still mad because you doing something to make me mad. As a girlfriend, I would just, especially if we live apart, I would just respect it. You don't want me around him? Cool. have it. I'm not about to
And
go
I
as girl
understand from
as a person who lives apart, as a girlfriend of Beyonce. I just respect it. I just be like, all right, you don't want me around them, cool, have it.
right.
Like how
Hey, last
Tanya
we
was
may
saying that she did give him right. We may last, we may not. I'm not about to get in too much
mm.
like drama because of this. Like I'm not. And Tanya
So
said she
Kevin,
had
you
given her
said you don't
boyfriend
have
the
any
option to
kids,
just pick
but
him up.
go ahead. I'm sorry, B.
I said Tanya had said in the comments that she gave her boyfriend the option to just pick him up and take him straight home. I would do the same, Tanya. Honestly, you doing it the same way I would. I would have gave him the option like, yo, if you need to just take him straight on, that's fine. I do feel like switching roles as the baby mama. If I knew my child was dirty and I saw your partner cleaning, like making sure they were clean when they came home, for me that would soften my heart, because now I know, if nothing else, you care about the appearance, you care about my kid, and automatically now I can't fully have an issue with you. And if I still have an issue, then that's clearly on her dad, on his dad, because there's no way that as woman to woman, if seeing that you're caring for my child without having to be prompted to, that says a lot. Like that truly says a lot.
That means
like there was a situation where a stepmom. Go ahead,
B. Yeah,
okay.
I agree. There's something
there's a situation. There's something that's extra that's going on. There's something between me and him. But me and his issues.
That's not on the up and up, the baby mama, that you not being truthful with the other party. Brooke mom is still holding on, and she's been gone since 2013. And we have not been intimate in the entire time, nor have I indicated that she just believes I'm wrong and that we should be together, but we wouldn't have an issue with Brooke being around other women. And you know, you bring about a good perspective on that, Quaitland. So thank you for that insight. Because sometimes, even without being intimacy, I think a lot of the driver is because men are still, because for some reason we see a lot of posts that people would say, a baby daddy can still hit his baby mama. Bullshit. I love both my baby dads from the perspective of, you blessed me with two beautiful kids, and I thank you. But as intimacy, baby, right, that's been deuces. When you decided to move on, and I was over my feelings, no, you don't get the chance to double back with me. Now, how stupid is this? You didn't marry me. You married somebody else. I'm the baby mom, but I'm going to allow you to double back and lay up with me. Somebody help me make that make sense. Somebody please help me make that make sense. No, don't. We're not doing it. And
somebody say math is finite, and the math ain't mathing on that.
Right.
The math is finite, so if it ain't working, it ain't working. Bro. Like, I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Because I heard that too, that I married the baby dad when they had their baby. No, sweetie, I didn't marry. I was like, no, I didn't marry him because y'all had a baby, because really, in our essence, I didn't really even know y'all had no baby. Again, that's why I know it'd be a lot of lies from the guy perspective.
That's it.
Right. So I'm like, no, I didn't marry him because y'all had a baby. Because I'm mature enough to know marriage doesn't secure anything because anybody have a baby. Men work the way they want to work regardless. But I will say, a lot of times women are in their feelings because, like he just stated, they're not together, and they believe that that's what it was supposed to be. But babies, what women, and that's another topic for another day. You have to understand that babies don't keep a man.
They don't. Carla just said that in the comments. She just she just said
Oh,
in the comments. Like,
yeah,
just.
yeah.
I don't get that thought process that because you share a child that you're supposed to now be y'all supposed to be together just because y'all have children. Like, no, because at the end of the day, when those children leave the home, because I don't even agree with couples staying married because they have children. I don't agree with that shit either. Because once those children leave the home, one, they've had years of seeing resentment, snarky comments, rude behaviors, falsified intimacy. They've seen years of that. So now they're already screwed. But when they leave the house and y'all stuck with each other, what the hell y'all gonna do? Your kids ain't here no more. What y'all gonna do?
Right.
Now you got it. Now you stuck.
Right. So Quavelin, you never answered if there's any other guys on here. So the woman did not want your baby mom, did not want your kid's mom, did not want the kids around your new mate. Would you adhere to it? Like, how would you handle that? Like, would you? Kim said, make it make sense. That's right, girl. Ain't nobody that doubling baby daddy.
It can't. That don't make sense.
Down, a whole wife. You got you a whole wife, and I'm a baby mama. And when you come over, I'ma still be stupid enough to sleep with you. Help me make that make sense.
I mean, Tara and Amina made a whole storyline of it on Love and Hip Hop for years. So
I want this Quavelin.
So I mean, clearly.
But Tanya, how is that working for you? In that space for you and your mate, like, is it causing a lot of friction? Do y'all have conversations? What is he saying about, like B mentioned, about y'all having conversations with one another so that y'all can get past it? That's right. I don't see that happening. He says my first wife didn't want my kids around my second wife, but that wasn't happening. I just think you got to have the balls as a man to just say, girl, go sit down somewhere. Ain't nobody doing that. But you just got to have, like you said, if there's some feeling somewhere, then yeah, there needs to be a conversation to say, hey, from the man to say, hey, not sure why you're feeling what you're feeling, but my new wife and da-da-da-da-da. You just got to have a conversation. But if you leave it, and a lot of men do, they don't know how to resolve conflict. So they leave it lingering, and that's why it festers for some.
That's when it gets to be a problem.
Yep.
When I tell you, I be so, and I'm just 29, y'all. Like, I be so confused at the level of immaturity that I see around people that are my age and older, not even younger, and older. It'd be people giving me advice like, oh, you need to tell him he can't have your kids around. Like, what? Let me deal with my household and the breaking of my relationship, and I'm gonna let you deal with your crazy, because that makes no sense. Like, oh, I'm just gonna be like, you can never have her around shit. What? I'm just supposed to expect this man gonna never leave, no, never move on? What? Now, gratefully, my ex don't like people, so him actually moving on quickly is hella low, but because that nigga's just rude. But, huh?
I said that's funny. You like that nigga.
And they ain't moving on no time hella soon. Now, in the next like 6 months or so, probably. But like, or like a year or so. Yeah, probably. But like, him coming to me and being like, hey, B, I want you to meet this girl because, I love her. And it's like tomorrow. Like, no, that's just not fucking happening. But for the men in the situation, especially the men who actually like 100% be there for their kids, make sure y'all got these papers. Right. I tell people all the time, like, I tell my male friends all the time, put yourself on child support. Put yourself on the visitation plan. Put yourself, do this for yourself. Because when trying to pull these, oh, you can't be around my kid card. Bitch, I got custody. What are you talking about? I will take that ass back to court. And as soon as you start saying court, females start to shut up because they be real nervous about what's gonna pop up. Especially if y'all been like going in and out, oh, they're gonna be hella nervous. But make sure you set yourself up on these things. There's no reason that you need to have yourself be at the whip, because that's how they be. That's another reason women be getting you for real. They know you're not going to do these things, so they hold that over your head as some bargaining chip, like it's supposed to be like, you gonna do what I say for the rest of your life. No, stupid. Take yourself down to the courthouse. Go down there. Legitimize yourself. Put yourself on child support. Put yourself on a visitation plan, and take her ass to court. You want to know why? Because that's your kid too, and you have every right to make sure. Hell, even Reese. I'm like, yo, are you gonna legitimize Christian? You 6 months you gonna have to be like, homie. You have every right. I'm not gonna take your rights from your kids. I'm not gonna keep you from your kids. That's already. But I'm not gonna take your rights from your kids. Go legitimize your kids. Right. So if we do have a situation, what if something happens to me? If something happens to me and we're and say me and Christian are or me and my children are in a car accident, if you don't legitimize these kids, I'm incapacitated. You have no legal say so what happens to your children. What? That is insane. Yeah. These are your kids.
Tanya said, yep, that's what I told him to do. So Tanya, stay on him about that. Because my thing is, I said that same thing to the person, because my thing is, whether you with me or not, she's going to try it again.
She's going to keep trying it.
She's going to keep trying it because she feels like you're not strong enough or mature or smart enough to even go to court to legitimize and have the rights that you need to have. So you're working in this space of her mercy. So it ain't about me. It's more so about making sure, like you just stated, future forward, you have the rights to move with your child the way that you need to move with your child, no matter who you with.
No matter who you talking to.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, especially us as people of color, since we have such a negative connotation with law enforcement and the court system and everything like that, since we have such a negative connection with it, people will use that as a tool to manipulate. And there's no reason to do that, especially if you're going in, being in the right and having your stuff in order. There's nothing anybody can tell you. You have legal rights to know what address your children are at, what phone number you can have to contact them if you want to. Like, you have every legal right to do that. Why? Because you normally, because I know in Oklahoma, there is 50-50 custody from the jump. Now, if you guys end up having to negotiate something different, that's different. But standard custody is 50-50 custody. 50-50 legal, 50-50 physical, 50-50 financial. Out the gate. Right? So you, without going to court, have that. As soon as that child is born, that's yours. If you do not exercise it, that is because you do not want to. Or you have not been educated on how to do it.
That's right. That's right. Either you don't want to, which is crazy, because that means if you don't want to, again, I go back to that, got to be something going on between you and baby mama, because why would you not if it's causing a problem in your marriage home?
I tell you, if she go fuck up my house, she go fuck up my piece. No.
Right. I operate like white folks. Talk to my lawyer about it. Right. You may have, ma'am.
But I tell you, I would run you my lawyer's business card so quick.
Incompetent if I can't get my kid. Absolutely. And so that's another thing. If you're dealing with somebody that's incompetent and then in contempt, but if you're dealing with somebody that is immature enough to say that you can't see your child because you're with somebody else, and you adhere to that, then there's clearly something wrong with you. either it's more than what you're saying. Let's see what Tanya says. You seem like a classy young lady, so you wouldn't understand such ignorance. That's right. A lot of times it's hard for us to identify with ignorance.
Something we just don't match with.
Level. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Child is young, 1 year old, and she's not over him, and especially if you're cute and your life is on point. She's intelligent. I think a lot of times that would be what it is. Some of that, Kim. I opted not to date guys.
I say, don't be pretty. See, I got an issue with you. Don't be pretty.
The BS. I absolutely hate baby mama drama. I live right. It's too much. It's just it's much. Especially when you're at an age of adulthood, it's too much. Okay. Somebody said, who said they was on a date? Oh.
What?
Somebody said they was on a date, but why she on a date? And I love it. Can't miss entertainment. Oh, okay. I think Tanya.
She. Girl, do you have a sexual date?
Well, say your date. We appreciate him allowing you to chime in. We should have brought him in because I hope you're on the date with the person that we're talking about. Because we need to have his perspective.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Like, I need to have a conversation with him. Sir.
We needed to have had a conversation with him about why you ain't even introduced her to baby mom when you're saying, especially if you're saying y'all trying to move to the next level. Because when you try to move to the next level, then that's a conversation that needs to be had. If she's in her feelings, there's a conversation that needs to be had. Because I think depending on the conversation for me, it's based on what you're getting from the kid's mom or the baby dad. Because there's some people that just have strictly moved on. And they don't work in a space like that. Their thing is, hey, long as your child is good, I'm good. Now, when my child comes home and there's some conversations
talking about some extra,
right? Then
I'm about to be extra.
You and her need definitely.
I say, cause let Isabella come home and talk about, mommy, daddy, so and so did this. Did she? Bad.
Oh, cousin.
I'm calling that nigga so quick.
I think she's moved. Otherwise, she's over the daddy and the dirty 1 year old.
That's what I laughed at first. Cause I was like, he just is this 1 year old stuff. Clearly he is, because she be having to watch him, which is insane. Why is this 1 year old so dirty? Like, don't get me wrong, I got a 1 year old. I know how dirty they can get, but Jesus. Straight out of daycare? Jesus.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the biggest part of this on a bigger scale is what you said, though, B. And I think that's great advice for anybody that's going through it. Because I even told the guy's mom that same thing. I said, you need to make sure he legitimize and go to court because future forward, this is not over.
Right.
You don't have to appease her to have a say-so about how you move with your child. And if you have those things legitimized and on paper, that conversation is no longer.
She can really say, man. Like, outside of trying to like sex you up to prove stuff, like ain't that much she can really say. Like, and I've told friends this for a very, very long time. Like, homie, go do it. Matter of fact, my first love had a baby with a girl. I cannot stand all through high school. I could not stand this girl. Thankfully, we don't talk now, so I don't have to worry about it. But when he had that child with her, he was like, I'm so like why she keep talking about child support and that's just dumb. I'm like, homie, you need to go court, put yourself on child support. Do it yourself. Oklahoma already gives you rights. So you came out the gate with rights. take a hold of that. I said, because some states don't do that. Some states you have to file for that. I said, but you already have rights to this child. At this point, it's automatic 50-50 rights to this child. Put yourself on child support so she can't, for one. And for two, if she decides to put you on child support 2, 4, 5, 10 years later, you're not sitting here in arrears because you have back child support, because they're going to assume you didn't pay child support at all. So they're going to automatically say, oh, well, you owe us some odd thousands of dollars for your child's back child support, and you're going to start paying child support. So now we're going to take your child support payment and your arrears payment at the same time. Yay. No, put yourself in a situation to where you are protected. Not only are you protected just by the paperwork, you're protected by the laws. So when you have these and she want to start tripping at, if she want to start tripping at exchanges, not bringing the child, saying that, like, texting you all types of craziness, you now have a paper evidence. And I even tell them, like, when you go to drop dude off, and this baby, and this child, drop them off at like public places, police stations, gas stations, places where you can account for where you are, because you can put, okay, well, I stopped and got gas. Say it's a gas station. Get gas. Go buy water. Do something. And you now have a timestamp of when you got there or while you were there. So if this person comes up and says, oh, well, I showed up at this time. Well, sweetie, I was here between 6:30 and 7:32, and you ain't show up. Well, that's not true. Oh, but my receipt sure says it's true.
Right.
So I'm confused. If I have all of these things, protect yourself before somebody's able to play you.
Yeah. And it's never a problem if the next woman is out of the picture. It's that's how you know when it's working in the space of the other woman and you're bending your feelings. Because if the drama is not there, I think the other one is not in the picture and the side, that means that it was being driven off emotions or some lies from that individual.
Mm-hmm. And what be getting me is when you can always tell if the person, I'm not gonna just say the man, because sometimes women be stirring the pot too. The previous partner, you can always tell if you can always tell where the communication is a problem, because if they mutually have issue with each other, that middle person is telling lies somewhere.
Yep.
If the baby mama is exclusively mad at the
girlfriend or
at
wife,
the new person, right? At the new person, then normally you can kind of more push it towards her sometimes, because she may really just be having feelings. Especially if he's like a faithful person, she just may have this expectation in her head that she's blue, like Quavelin was saying. But But if this is what gets me sometimes, if the new partner doesn't like the baby mama, that confuses the hell out of me.
Now,
because I'd be like, what does she have to do with you? They are, especially if they both are like amicable. If you got a situation where they both amicable and ain't no issues like that, but the new wife want to sit here and be mad at me all the time, I can't show up to my child's stuff like the new whatever, getting their feelings or showing their ass or acting a fool. Like, I'm like, hold on, sweetie, you got the prize. What you mad at me for? What?
Now he's stirring the pot.
And I literally be sitting there so confused. I'd be like, but even if this is what be killing me. Even if he's stirring the pot, logically, you are still the person who has come up on top. So why are you belittling yourself?
But
like, what does that have to do with anything?
I agree. Totally.
If he be telling you, oh, she be texting me about getting back together, well, damn, do you message her back about it?
Right.
Nah. All right, then I ain't got shit to worry about. Like, cause I don't. Right. If she's crazy. If she's delusional, she's delusional. That ain't got shit to do with me. That ain't my house. But when I saw a video of this new wife, like the stepmom, not the stepmom, the mother of the child, after graduation, they went to like a fun house thing or whatever for the child, because that's where he wanted to go to celebrate his graduation. And the mother of the child is, playing games with the kid and doing all this with the kid. And then a family member was like, hey, can I get a picture of y'all? The wife got an attitude because he said he wanted a picture with the parents first. Not you wasn't about to get your picture because he said, I was gonna get a picture of the parents first. They take their picture, new wife goes off. I'm tired of being disrespected in my own, and you act like that's your wife, and you act like you care about your side of it. And I'm like, what are you mad at? Like, dude didn't say that you weren't gonna get a picture. Dude didn't say that you weren't important. Nobody discredited you, yet you sitting up here extra spicy mad. Like, and the woman went on to do a rebuttal video, and she was like, y'all, me and my ex have not been intimate in 6 years. Their child was 7.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It got to be something bigger there. And I think sometimes in those type of situations, it is some insecurities, it's some infidelities, it's some things that has not been resolved by the man to comfort and close. Yep. Yeah, because like you said, other than that, it's not like he didn't say you, like you said, it's not like they wasn't gonna get a picture. It was like the first picture. So I think it's more so him not resolving issues. And I think a lot of times, if the man hasn't stepped in to resolve whatever that may be on that side of both parties, it's something that's not so clean.
When I listen to that,
the baby mama, absolutely, Kim. It's something,
and that's the first thing I thought when I saw the video. So I went, y'all be on TikTok going down rabbit holes, especially when I be at work and don't be want to do nothing. That's how I went to the video of her explaining the situation. She was like, y'all, me and him ain't been intimate in 6 years. Our child is 7. I don't know what this girl's problem is with me. And then the baby mama was like, well, I mean, he do be hoeing. So I was like, oh, so she taking her anger of his infidelities out on a person he ain't been intimate with in years. Like, this displaced anger is the basis of the whole argument on either side. Because if it's the baby mama mad at the new girl, she mad at the dude. Like, why you mad at her? But then it's the baby mama mad at the wife mad at the baby mama. Again, you supposed to be mad at him. So why is it that as women, because I don't see men doing this as much when they be in these situations. I mainly see like us as women. Why is it women, we be so quick to blame the other woman and not the person that's in the middle? The only commonality is this person in the middle, but you'd rather be mad at a stranger instead of the person you know.
That's right. That's right.
Like, where does that make sense?
That's the dog that's in the fight. That's the referee. That's the referee in the boxing. Yeah. And the referee gonna be able to call the shots when somebody is getting the best of each other. Either you're gonna get a TKO, or you gonna either call the cards and say what it is, and then at some point you just have to call it and say it's over. You see what I'm saying? But Quaveland said they be bitter because
it gotta be, because baby, I be so confused.
Yeah, and it's too much because I've seen it. Like I said, where there is peace and there's calm in situations with people that has moved on and married, and you don't have drama. That's how I know it be some bullshit in the game when it is drama. Because when it's not, it's peaceful. It's peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just simple.
That's literally what my best friend said, because men lie to women so much and you don't know which one to believe until you speak to the other individual yourself. Then the truth comes out. This is also why I start the conversation. Because if y'all start hearing on some bullshit, she done got comfortable with me. She gonna tell me. So if I got to brace for the bullshit, because y'all going through the bullshit, at least now I know. He want to be extra. Well, I want to see my kids this week. Just because you and your bitch got issues don't mean you need to come at me sideways. Tell me chill out. And vice versa. Like, I don't. When I tell you
lies, it be. I promise y'all,
oh my
the
God.
lies. If there weren't any lies, then everything, unless, like Quavelin says, then there are some that just is going to. They are constantly bitter because they wanted the man themselves and they thought that they were in a relationship. Let me tell you what I tell my daughter, and this is on everything I love. And you're not in a relationship with no man until he solidified it. Stop, y'all can move like you want to move. You can have sex. You can go on dates. You can do whatever you want to do. But until y'all have had a conversation that y'all together, but y'all not together. Stop working on them subliminals that y'all together. And definitely, because a lot of times women feel like because we have unprotected sex and you at my house every day, girl, nigga can be at your house every day, stay all night, and go home to his wife. So until
like ain't nothing happened.
Like ain't nothing happened. I did have sex with my ex-wife after we were divorced, and she only agreed to meet up with my new woman. Right. Come on, I'm telling you. Look, on both sides, like boom. Boom. I tell my son that same thing. Women are so vindictive. They'll act like they on your team just to tell something. Stop acting like DICK is so good that you got somebody on lock that they ain't finna never say nothing. No, women work in a space where sometimes we have a plan. Because we want y'all to hurt like we've hurt. And so we'll come up with a plan too.
Women play the game a little bit worse than men.
Yeah.
Women will play
the get back
game worse than men. Like, damn. Oh, she
can't ring on. Ain't nobody claiming until you claiming me. I ain't right here claiming no man until you're claiming me. So unless we're together and we have both claimed each other, boy, I move solo. I'm moving a space.
When I tell you I am notorious for being in a relationship and y'all will never know. I had a relationship for a year and nobody knew. The public didn't know. Like my friends and stuff knew. But like the public had no clue. And I'm like, because we're not going to do that. Even my ex, like he posted that we were engaged before I did, and we've been engaged for like a month. And I was like, oh no, like people don't even know that. And as soon as he posted, one of my friends hit me was like, nigga, when were you dating? I was like, oh, it's been for a couple months now. Like we've been good. We've been knowing each other for years. What? Like you will not know. I will not claim a man that does not claim me.
That's
like
right.
I can't. I won't. The world's not, and I'm already private. Like people don't even know what the hell be happening in my life anyway. So like you just gonna be a part of the private, about the great privateness. Cause
we're not be together, and they told you nothing. Then when somebody said, "Oh, I didn't know you and such and such was together," and he like, "What you mean?" Then you looking crazy, and then he's talking about, "But we never together." Right.
But okay. That happened to somebody I know. Something happened, and they was like, "Oh, that's my boyfriend. Your boyfriend? That's my boyfriend. Oh, that's he be dating."
Yeah. Quaven said, "Look, Quaven was like, exactly, but you know, my ass was like, well, you got a choice to make, stay or go." That's true. At the end of the day, Ebony says, right, if it's so good, he will put a ring on. Absolutely, because I think a lot of women think that sex and I got some fire head and I'm jumping off the ceiling and my stuff juicy wet and I think women really believe that type of foolishness matters to men.
Stupid.
That's right.
Stupid. There are more of us than it is of them. why in the world would you think that you, like, even statistically, he's gonna have more women than you have men. Why would you think that you was just out here just a sparkling purple and I don't know, octagon shaped unicorn that he just gonna be like, yep, I done been in this one time and I ain't going nowhere? Bitch, what? You are not out here shitting rainbows. Like, what is wrong with you? I don't understand it.
Value to you. It is absolutely. And cause I had to tell a female that, you know, just to be 100 and all the way real.
Cause he can get sex from anybody, bro.
Even after the sex, you're not his type. You were the sex, and you can get sex anywhere, but you're not his type. So even if we're not together, he won't be with you because you was just some sex. You were just what it was, some cut up. And so women don't under. Yeah, unless you add, like you said.
Katrina said you have all that stuff, and still gonna be doing the most. He's still gonna be doing the most fucking. Still.
Right. Totally. You can be spinning off the chandelier, baby, getting fire head. You can be bumping it from that like a stripper. But it doesn't matter. Like Quaylin said, if you can add value and the only thing you got to offer is sex, he already sees that. Especially a man. Now, boy, he'll still toy with you. But a man, he's gonna treat you exactly
for a little bit.
Yeah, he'll entertain it for a little bit, but that's all it is. It's just sex. You would never fuck
until he finds something else to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. You would never fuck a man of substance into a relationship. I love that.
Won't.
Real talk. And that is so true.
That should be next week's topic, to be honest.
I like that. Sex on. Yeah.
Okay.
That's real. And so I think that's where a lot of the bitterness of baby mama drama comes from, because people operate in a space of sex. And so once that person has moved on, you were under the impression that your sex and your head was so fire that y'all was in a relationship that this
and he wasn't gonna go nowhere.
And it was never going to be anything. Never. Girl, a man will come along and have sex with you for years and not call you his. And then come along the next woman, like he said, with value, and some things that can add to his life, and he'll leave you
and that's
alone.
Gonna be the wife. I'm about to say that's gonna be the wife. That's gonna be the wife. Stop for.
Yep.
It confuses me.
And Quaylin said, then the question becomes, what does she have that I don't have? Ask yourself that question. Substance. Right. Value. I mean, hello.
Because she can hang off the chandeliers and have an
and she got that. Right, and she got
she got good hair and a good credit score. Good.
Right.
Okay, God.
And I think a lot of that bitterness that we talk
about. If I find a nigga with good dick and a good credit score,
I think that bitterness that we were talking about comes from that, the intimidation. And I think somebody mentioned it earlier. Part of it maybe was Kim, the intimidation piece. Of now, because I don't, if it's not the man lying, or still dabbing with the baby mom, I think it more comes down to the intimidation piece. And you're not feeling good about yourself and where you are, so you envy the new wife or the girlfriend. Quaylin said, I had to tell a woman I'm having sex. Hold on, let's see. I had to tell a woman
I'm stop you from watching them.
Years straight up, you're not qualified to be my woman. And absolutely. I mean, and be real with it, because at the end of the day, good credit score. She was hurt, but she understood that she had work to do. All right, then, Cole, put it all the way out there. But you can't. I was telling my too, because I try to be real clear, because learning stage where she's starting to like boys and boys are starting to like her. At the end of the day, you got to respect the guy that's going to be upfront. So then you have a choice to make. You got a choice to make. You gonna put in the work, or you gonna throw in the towel and say, "Boy, you ain't work." Simple as that. You know.
It to sometimes.
Or you putting in the work. Have sex for years and get up and don't have a second thought about absolutely, because men will have sex with you for years and not have any intentions of making
I mean with you.
Period. And you still putting yourself in a position hoping one. It won't. It won't.
I don't understand.
Because
Because when I tell you, I don't. How do I say this? I don't see why people play the game. Like, to a certain extent, I'm too grown for this. Like, I do not have the patience that God gave a spoon to be dealing with all of your bullshit. Like, I don't. Either you want to try. I'll give it some dates, some actual dates, because nowadays people think when you dating that means you in a relationship with somebody. That does not. Those are two completely different words. But like, I'll give it a couple dates and I'll see how we doing after a month or so. But after that, I mean, we about to have a conversation. Like, do you want to be with me, or are we just fucking? Like, I need to know what lane we going down.
we're going.
Like, I need to know how to divvy up my time. Because if we sitting here and we actually trying to make a go of this, cool. I know my expectation. This is my expectation of you. What's your expectation of me? Okay, cool. If we just fucking, you about to get a phone call when I feel horny. I will expect one when you feel horny, and move on. Like, I don't understand. Like, we are. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience. This is why I could. This is why I could never cheat, because I ain't got patience.
Mom said, y'all different than us. Back in the day, we were having sex. We were together. I said, Mama, don't nobody work in the old school way. I said, nobody work. I said, that's so old school.
Absolutely not.
Couple at work. And the people out here.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. That's so cute.
Right.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Because some people I had sex with, I would be married to.
Right.
No.
Right. I say, you're right.
It's supposed to be that way.
We have definitely evolved, and that's not where we work anymore.
It's supposed to be that way. Unfortunately, it's not. But it's supposed to.
That's some old school values. Yeah, you're right, Mother. It's supposed to be that way.
It's supposed to be.
That's not what it is.
Doesn't mean it is. Sorry.
Thank you. Katrina says, no, dating is dating. And that's right. Dating is what it is. Two different words, like B said. Some people are just temporary. Not everyone is forever. Absolutely. Nope. We too grown to be playing. And that's true.
And if somebody is meant to be seasonal, let them go. Let the season pass. We are not meant to have summer all year. We are meant to have seasons for a reason. If someone is seasonal, let them go. You are doing nothing but hurting yourself trying to hold on to that. Let it go.
Yeah, you gotta let it go. And that's why, as women, if you're in and some women are like Carla said, when men desire a strong woman, but some women, and B, you brought a good point, say we're just sex, and I'm gonna either I'm gonna stop dealing with you, or I'm adjust accordingly, and because I got needs too, and want to deal with you on the basis of sex, then I know where we stand, and we don't have to play games because we're grown, like Katrina just said. Everyone is grown. So if we have that conversation after a month or two, and you're saying you still just, you're not ready to be in a relationship, and it's just sex or what it is, you have to respect that man, what he's telling you, and then you as the woman have to adjust accordingly. And
you have a choice.
And you have to have a timeline. Now you may want to ride it out forever, but I know me. I've told to do December. That was our date. In December, if you haven't decided what you want from me and us, I'm leaving you alone. And I did.
Because you're not going to straddle me along saying you want us. Be different if you said you didn't want anything, but you kept saying you needed some time and to fix whatever you needed to fix. So I'm working out what you're telling me. So by this date I gave you, if you're not ready to move forward, I need to leave you alone. So as women, we need to stop letting men drag us along without the expectation of, because they will. People only do what you allow them to do. Let's read some of these comments. Go ahead.
Sorry, because I was getting caught up. Okay, first off, your cousin needs to be put in the corner because he said, "Man, I had sex with some women. Sorry, I don't even want to have a conversation with let alone get married to their ass." I hate you. Carly had the same response that I had. You got me in here over here crying tears. I can't cry because on this camera, I'm pretty sure people will be like, "What is wrong with her?" But straight laughing. Ebony said, "I got my husband the opposite way. I made him wait to have sex with me for months, and that's something he never experienced sorry, in any woman he had ever dated. And that opened his eyes a lot. So I believe it's a mindset problem also. Women go for what they know or what they have seen or was taught that sex will keep a man or get a ring." Cleveland then said, "There's also women that think that they can love a man into submission." I've seen that. Gift giving, feeding, caring for. I've dealt with these types too. Ebony replied to Chris, "Why? I pray you strapped up every time." I pray you did too, personally. Cleveland got me rolling on the floor laughing like hell. Cleveland's just getting everybody with that comment.
Good.
Because, baby.
Perspective, and Brian, chime in with us. We're talking about baby moms, baby dads not wanting the kids around the significant other. We're talking about how sex doesn't keep a man or all of that great stuff. But it's good that we hear from Quaylon and any other guy, because as women, truly, this is how men move. And what you gotta understand is a man, not a boy, a man wants a woman with substance. Just like he stated, sex is never going to drive a man into a relationship. It's not going to happen. But he'll take it.
I will say the caveat: a man wants a woman with substance when he's prepared for that substance.
That's right.
So if he's not ready for it, it doesn't matter how much substance she brings. He's not ready to receive that yet.
And that's why I said earlier, you're not in that relationship solidified until you and him have that conversation.
But I also think this lends to travel back to our topic. I also think this lends back to baby mamas though. Mm-hmm. Because think about it. If this baby mama had the substance and this man did not have the ability to accept that yet, that emotional tie of a woman thinking that she can just love him into accepting it, that hurts. I've been on that. I am in that. That hurts. Like, you think that especially if y'all have been through so many ups and downs and peaks, hills and valleys, you think that but I bring all of this, but I'm so great about this, but I hold you down with this. But if he's not ready, right? But if he's not ready and if he's not ready in himself, it doesn't matter how much substance you have, because then eventually you'll become, to a certain extent, not wanted. And something a quote that I heard recently: just because that person doesn't want you doesn't mean you're unwanted.
That's right.
So I do think that has something to do with the baby mama kind of delusion sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time, because some of these bitches is crazy. But sometimes, like, it could be she truly, and I do understand that you truly gave everything you could to this, and yet and still it was a no. That hurts. Now, the main light at the end of the tunnel though is you're gonna hurt now, but that's temporary. Because if you were all of this for one person, you can grow, you can be strong, and be that and more. Because now you've learned this lesson, you can be that and more to the person that does deserve you.
But let me say this.
But you got to grow out of that situation. You got to let him go. Let it go.
I totally agree, to what you did. It creates bitter baby mama.
It can. For sure.
It can create bitter
if they don't let it go, for real.
And here's what you stated that resonates and is so true, down to the fact that you can give your all, love, what you think is head, great sex, accommodating to
money, time, understanding, emotional and intellectual properties.
Playing your role that you think would make him be for you. But again, like you said, he's not ready for all of that because he's not ready to settle down. So that's when it comes back to what you just said. As women, we got to be okay with having conversations and hearing the no. Instead of just taking the ride, because some of that falls on us. Because if you don't have that conversation, you can't be mad at that man. You just putting yourself out there, going along for the ride, thinking at some point you're going to be the one. And just like Quavelin said, he's soaking up all of what you're giving, preparing himself for that next person.
For the next.
Like, and now you're
the better opportunity.
That right. Now you're thinking you're deserving, and that man owes you something, but he really don't.
He don't.
Because at the end of the day, you should have had a conversation. And one thing about it, two things for sure. It hurts. We get it. Been there, done it. But at least you know the truth.
And I was about to say that when that no comes about, us as women have to be able, like you said, to accept it and make a decision. Either you're going to stay and let that be something that you keep doing and expecting and having truly being insane, expecting different results from the exact same shit.
Right.
Or you're going to say, you know what? Cool. You don't want us. That's fine. I got to be out because my peace is more important. Like there's a space that you have to have, because yes, it's a scary thing to have that conversation for sure. But once that conversation is had and you know what's out there, you deciding to stay is a you problem. It's not a him problem. It's not a them problem. It's not I did it for the kids. No, you did it because you were scared.
Right.
And fear has never allowed somebody to grow. It is the true definition of growth. It is the true definition of the death of growth. Fear is the death of growth, because if you're too afraid to do something, you can't grow from it.
Yeah.
So if it hurts, it hurts, but you gotta go. You gotta be gone.
That's true. And I think again, just to go to what our topic was about, the truth, the having the conversations, and what drives sometimes these baby moms or dads, because dads, sometimes we have emotional men too. Based on what the woman is saying, the woman may not be being truthful either, to say what that looks like for them, with their new mates or the baby dad. Girl, what we got?
Oh, Quavelin hit a point. I love it. Sorry. Most exes are bitter out of the fear of missing out on the next phase of him. She dealt with him cheating, and now he wants to be faithful. He wants to be a faithful mate. She struggles with him being job to job. Now he's maturing, hardworking man. How dare you? This is growth, but nobody wants to be the one that did all the work with someone else benefiting from it. Baby, if that ain't the truth. Because what have you heard some of these baby mamas say? Well, I was there when you ain't have nothing. And when you was doing this, I made sure I held you down. And then my question becomes, did you love the man, or did you love the possibility of what you thought she was going to create?
Yes, and that's why I say, as women put ourselves so in, and I'm not saying get or get a free pass, because they lie, and they mislead, and they're deceptive, but we ignore the sign of what we see, and we're afraid to confront it. See, that's why I stay in a situation, because I'm gonna call it what I see.
Boy.
Boy, right. I'm gonna call it what I'm not gonna let you get a pass off of. And if I'm wrong, then tell me. But I'm still gonna call it the way I see it. You know, and then, but a lot of times, for the fear of the illusion of being attached to a successful person that you think got money or drives a good car, or this illusion of being with that person, you're afraid to have those conversations. But when you got your shit together, it wouldn't even make you know.
You don't care. You don't care. You be like, oh, okay. So that's what we're doing. Go.
Right.
Because when I tell you, Quavo hit the nail on it, like literally, like Kim said, mic drop, bro. Sometimes it be that you have you have invested so much that you feel you are deserving, or you feel like you FOMO of what this person might be able to do, because you feel like you put in just that much amount of work. And that's when I tell people, like, you have to stop loving from a self-gratification mindset. That's not what love is. Love is never intended to be something that you just like, oh, well, I gave you this, so you have to give me this, and I did this, so you have to have this, and this is, I'm entitled to this because I did this. That's not what love is. Love is meant to be an action that continues and never stops. You're supposed to love somebody because you love somebody because of who they are, not because of what they're able to do for you. I don't.
Yep. And you're living in that.
Personally, I've never seen a relationship work like that.
Yep. I love what Ebony said. I have an awesome relationship with both my husband's children's mother. Personally, they know me and my character, so I do believe that has a lot to do with it. But he also made it known. And I talked about that earlier part. He is a huge driver of how it's going to pan out. Believe he has a lot to do with it, but he also made it known to both of them that wifey isn't going anywhere. Absolutely. And I can call and talk to both mothers of his child and pick them up without any problems. So I'm blessed in becoming married to a man that have kids outside of marriage. Now, for my child's dad, before we got married, it was a man-to-man talk that had to happen for my children's father. Absolutely. And that shows it. And see, that's what I'm saying for any, if a man is in that space where he says, I need to have a talk with the man, then that needs to happen. And so my daughter's father was like that too. And he was like, I just need to thank him for doing da-da-da-da-da. But when a man is working in his feelings, you can't work in that space because you're wrapped up in some self-centered ego stuff. And that's when, like she said, that's what separates the men from the boys. Unconditional love is real big.
Honestly, that's what separates the grown from the child.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm leaving it to God. I'm done. I'm leaving it to God. If he help me, if he find one for me, great. If he don't, it's fine. I'm leaving it to God.
If he find what for you?
I said I'm leaving it to God. If he found me a great man who can love me and mine unconditionally, wonderful. If he decides that I need not have that, wonderful. We're great. Either way.
Work with what God has.
I'm gonna accept the blessings that God gives and move on.
We're gonna ask God what we want, and we're gonna be specific in what He sends to us. We'll accept it. I only date women with no kids now. I'm talking to nobody. Lord have mercy. So you ain't talking to nobody. He just having sex.
You weren't supposed to pick up on that.
Right.
You said the quiet part out loud. You got supposed to do that. I'm not gonna lie. I be fighting the urge, man. Fighting the urge. Just go out here and just be. But that's not helpful.
So
leave that alone.
Together, we get along great. And for my son, I would go to the moon and back. Sorry. So sorry, I lost it.
Mine's went
I'm
up
looking
too.
for him. I am to settle down and pay my child support, like you talked about. Be my time and my parents. I feel men are judged by what other men have done. Sometimes that's true. And believe me, sex was great in the beginning. After we had a child together, it became quickly, and me, I don't like quickly. I am passionately in it. I just very loyal. And when I say I love, I mean, let's see, I just feel men have kids with a mother, woman they don't want baggage or drama from the past. Absolutely. And I don't think men want drama from the past relationship either. So he has he has to work in a space where he's truthful, he's honest. Like you just said, he's loyal, because if you don't have those characteristics and do those things, drama is gonna occur. You're waiting for drama to happen. Unless you just got a bitter person that just wanted the illusion of being with that man, and no matter what you do, she's just gonna anyway, because she's fast. Because there are women like that, and there are men like that. They're just fascinated with the individual, and that's how stalkers become created. And some people just are infatuated with the illusion of being with a person, and it just is what it is. And so it's sad, but it's true.
And I feel like sometimes that's on both sides, men and women. We fall in love or fall for emotionally somebody that we fall in love with potential, especially women. We fall in love with potential instead of actuality.
And that's true, Ebony. And I think that's where I may, and I, like B said, I mean, if God meant for me to just solo it out, it's gonna be what it is. But you're right. I just think it's a man's job to find that woman and put. I'm not saying we don't deserve to work now. Don't get me wrong, but it's your job to pursue that woman. It's your job to ensure that she feels that you want her, that you are ready for the next step of the relationship. And I'm not saying we don't have any work to do. I just think that man leaves that effort in ensuring. And so I'm the type that I just lay back, and I'm not saying I don't do any work, but I do let the man be the driver, because you need to pursue me. So just
I'm
real and
I'm
keep
quick
being
to not
honest.
be a person. Get your cousin.
Right.
Get your cousin.
That's what I gotta tell
no.
up.
No.
Won't do it.
Over
here. I love that. I love that when I see that that TikTok or whatever. Hey, the toxic over here, a little toxic, but you're gonna love it over here.
There used to be a comedian that, like, he would end his videos with, "I ain't shit. When I get there, you gonna know." And sometimes he will just, if it is what it is, it's finite. It is what it is. But to that point of, a man finding when I tell you I refuse, people be like, "Oh, you should shoot your shot." I refuse. Won't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, women are proposing to men now. I refuse. Won't do it. Got me fucked up. Nope.
Yeah. I just think it's on them to set the foundation of what they truly want from the one that they truly want, and want that one your pursuer. That's right, Kim, because at least you gotta have something to offer. And then, like B said, if I want to ride it out, and then, right, love Kim and Quaveland. Both of them gonna talk their shit.
Don't quote me.
Both of them gonna talk their shit.
When I tell you, Kim and Quaveland, stay my happy place in these comments. Stay my happy place in these comments. They say everything. They say I'm nice and professional. didn't say it the right way. All shots, no chasers.
Right.
And I appreciate all.
Raw and unfiltered, raw and uncut. So, guys, this has been great. Be what you see, because I see. Lord have mercy. Come on,
I love you, cousin. And when we done, I'm coming to your wedding happy as fuck for you, because I'm no as hell. Let's be very clear. We're not doing this. Where is where is my liquor? Okay.
Right. So we're gonna go back to the subject. Let's pivot back to all of that. Sounds great, and really, all of those things that we talked about: good sex, men having conversations with the other man, to have their kid around the next person, and the woman as well, like B was saying, and Ebony, having the conversation, so that it isn't toxic, it isn't baby mama drama, like Kim said, because nobody, and like Brian, nobody wants to deal with that. It's so immature, and it's just like crazy. So the only way, one, have conversation when it's needed. If the baby mom or dad feels like there's a conversation that needs to be had, they need to be the driver, not the significant other. If you have limitations and expectations for your child, then you need to have that, lead that effort. And, say what you want, mean what you say, but ultimately, overall, real, stop letting these women, guys, hang over you court, because we know men don't want to deal with the law and don't want to deal with court, but you don't have to do that. Take your, like Quentin said, deal in the space like the white folks. Get you a lawyer. Let him have, legitimize your child. If needed, put yourself on child support. It's simple. But when you're working in the space of a boy instead of a man, then you allow all of that stuff to go on. When I loved this conversation, this has been awesome, and I really, really appreciate all of you for chiming in. Call and say simple. Yeah, it's simple, cousin. Listen, I want a great woman that want to be.
It's quite simple.
Loved, cared for, respected, and don't care if she has to stay home mom, no job. So let's see what. Each time I got to put something. Yeah. So Brian said, "Listen, I want to." Oh, that was Brian that said that about the great woman. My apologies. I have my own. It's just hard to find someone single and say, "Yeah, it really is." I agree that it's really hard out there to find single to date. That's probably why Quentin moving in the manner that he moved. Don't make it right, but that's probably why.
Okay.
This has been and so guys, we are at this point, but love the fact that you guys have stayed on with us this long. Always good conversation when we can have participation from our audience. That's what typically gets us driven over time, because the conversations are so good, and so we really appreciate it. You got any thoughts? Closing comment thoughts?
For this particularly, when the season is over, let the season go. Another season will roll around.
Absolutely. Now, my mom used to say, cry it, or like those. Somebody saying don't hurt, don't cry, but you got to move on because living in the past, it helps nothing. And the illusion. Have conversations that'll keep a whole lot of friction down. So, guys, we are 105.7 The Phase. Tell a friend that we are here every Sunday at 7 o'clock. If you haven't downloaded the app from your app store, please do so. Also, if you have any topics that you would like, don't own the rights to these music, but if you have any topics, please drop it in our inbox. Mine be either way, drop it in our inbox because we want these conversations to be driven off of what you would like to talk about. We also ask that you guys come on screen with us. You are welcome. Only thing you have to do is hit it on your screen to say invite, and we'll invite you in on the screen to have some of these conversations on the panel. We don't mind. This has been amazing. So, guys, we want to say good night to you. There's some amazing people out there. If you are one, become one. We love you from 105.7 The Phase. I'm going to close out with DMX saying what you really want from them. DMX say what you really want. He say, I gave you what you gave me, Quaylon.
Lord have mercy.
We don't own the rights to